Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Harold here, Figuremania Show. Hope you guys are doing well wherever you are in the world. And in today's video, I've got a big one here for you guys. This is, of course, the Hiya Toys Exquisite Basic King Ghidorah 1991. And I am so happy that I finally have this figure in my collection. This is like one of my most anticipated figures this year. So this figure, Godzilla 91 and the Godzilla 91 Heat Ray version are my top 3 anticipated figures for this year. And man, this figure is absolutely phenomenal. I'm sure you guys have seen my toy photography on my Instagram, and I shared it with Hiya Toys, of course, already and things. So this is a very impressive figure, guys. Beautiful, and a lot of articulation, surprising articulation, and it's just big and beautiful. I don't know what more to say about that. You know, it's just an absolutely phenomenal figure. So like when you take a look at this figure, you take it out of the box, it really has this amazing presence, like in hand and things. So we'll get into that, guys. Now, before I go any further, I want to give a special shout out to Hiya Toys for sending me out this figure for review, and also Kowkistoy for sending me out a figure for review as well. Now, if you guys are still, you know, looking to pick this figure up, you guys can do so. Currently, right now, at the moment, it is in stock right now at Kowkistoy.com. You can use my promo code Figuremania-Kowkis to get 6% off. And also, too, they just recently announced that you know, Mecha King Ghidorah is on the way, and it's up for pre-order too at Kowkistoy. So I'll more on that one a little bit later. All right, guys, let's continue with the review of this amazing figure. So let's take a look at the sculpting detail of the figure. So as you can see right away, this figure is absolutely beautiful. So I'm gonna turn King Ghidorah around so you guys can see the back of King Ghidorah. So you can see like all the nice details in the body and in the wings too, okay, the tails and stuff. And you will notice that I am using tail stands for this. There's a very good reason for that, and I will get to that in this video, and I'll explain why I think you guys should also use tail stands, not tail stands, wing stands for your figure. Okay, now, oh, by the way, this figure does not come with any you know, stands or anything like that. When you open up this figure and you pull him out of his package, this figure comes fully intact, so there's no assembly necessary for this figure. He's already put together and things. So you just take it out of the box and you just put him on your shelf, or you just play with him right away. So just like Godzilla 91, this figure is digitally sculpted. So all the scales on King Ghidorah are, you know, they're all evenly, you know, evenly matched, and they are just evenly spread out throughout his body and things. So very nice. So I really like it. And the gold color on this figure is consistent throughout. I don't see any, at least for me, I don't notice any different types of shading of other different types of gold and things. It looks to be all one color, but because of like the lighting and things, you know, you can clearly see the details of the figure and things. So, which is pretty nice. Giving you guys a close look at the details of the head. There's a lot of amazing detail on the heads for all 3. So like, just very, let me just zoom in a little bit on this one here. So let's just focus on just one head. So very nice. Even the paint on the eyes. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit further. Just try to adjust the light here for you guys. Look at that. Look at the way the paint on the eyes. That looks fantastic. Beautiful. And it's all 3 heads have it. So let me just turn this one around. I like that little, you know, the touches of red, you know, on the outer part of the eye and things like that, bloodshot and things. That looks really, really nice. Okay, and the other heads have it too, and like there's like this nice gloss to it as well. Look at that. That looks beautiful. And look at like the details around the eyes, on the face and stuff. That's amazing. Here's a profile of all 3 heads. So as you can see, beautiful details consistent throughout all 3 heads. And now in terms of like the articulation of the mouth, this is the maximum range that you can open the mouth, which is pretty wide, and the tongue is articulated, so you know it's like on a hinge or something, or a swivel. Okay, so you can move it up and down and things. So like whenever you want to open the mouth, you have to just pop the tongue out like this. So it can be challenging, so it's better if you have like some tool to do that. Okay, and just giving you guys a look at the details of the mouth. Let me just bring it in closer. So there's nice detail there. Okay, I like the glossy look of the teeth and the inside of the mouth and things. So it's all very nice. Giving you guys a look at the neck detail. So very nice. You know, all three have ball joints throughout the neck. Let me just turn it around so you can see the spikes on the back. Okay, and like each of these pieces do appear to be like almost like free floating pieces, I think. I'm not too sure, but you know, like whenever you're moving King Ghidorah around and things, let me just adjust the camera. You just have to make sure that, you know, this is properly aligned, you know, to give it that organic look and things. So, and also too, because I've been fiddling around a lot with this figure for posing and stuff, you know, I can pop the necks off at the base, but you know what, it's, even though I can pop them off, you know, it's easy to put back on, and that actually opens up some creative liberties for me to do toy photography with this figure, which is kind of nice. Now, since I'm on the necks, let me just show you something really cool that you've probably seen in my photos. So watch this. As you can see, there's so much range of articulation for the necks that you can tie them up and do some fun things with the necks, which is amazing. While we're here on the necks, I might as well show you this anyways. You can do a variation of the chokehold that you see in the film. Now in the film, you know, Ghidorah's got Godzilla tight to close to his body, and he's choking him the other way around. But you know, I was trying to do that with these figures, but you know, there's just too much spacing in between, so you can't really get, you know, the necks here. Here, let me show you. So this is like the best you can do here. So let me just do that right now for you, so I can show you guys what I mean. I mean, you can do that, but in terms of like how you see it in the film, you can't get it close to the body, you know. So I mean, it can work with just some trickery and just some I mean, that works fine, you know what I mean. You just can't show the spacing in between here. Okay, so as you can see where my finger is, there's a lot of space here and stuff, like, and in the movie, you know, he's like right tied up against Ghidorah, but I can't get the necks to move any closer to the body. So this is the best that I can do. Actually, oh, hold on a second, maybe I can. I just have to cheat it a little bit. So that's pretty cool. I'll work on it, but as you can see, oh, I just popped the neck off again. Ah, there you go. So you can get the chokehold to be close to Ghidorah's body. You just got to improvise a little bit more and be a little bit creative about it. But look at that. That looks pretty cool. So, you know, for toy photography and stuff, this will look pretty awesome. So as I just demonstrated for you, you guys can do pretty cool poses with the necks and with Godzilla and stuff. You just need to exercise some patience and take your time with it, and you guys can eventually do some really cool stuff with it, as you guys just saw. Now moving on with the articulation, there is a cut here, so let me just get off the stand again. So there is a little bit of a turn on King Ghidorah's upper body. There's a little bit of just a tiny bit of a crunch, not too much. Okay, and just a tiny bit of you know, turning at the torso here. Okay, now moving on to the legs. So the legs, you can turn it and you can actually make Ghidorah do the splits or just sit like that. Okay, that's kind of cool. That looks funny. Okay, so very cool. Now let's look at the knees. And you got good bend at the knees. So look at that. Okay, so good. Oops. Sorry about that, guys. I knocked the light over. So moving on. So you got good movement at the legs. So you got a good bend at the knee. Okay, and there's also a cut here on the shin. You got good ankle movement. Okay, so really helps with you know, with standing poses and things. So very nice. Okay, and then now let's look at the tail. So this tail is long, and now if I stand Ghidorah, okay, so standing like this, it can support the weight of the tail. Okay, let me just move them this way. So that's pretty cool. Okay, now you are able to do some posing with the tail. It's not as articulated as I would like it to be, kind of like the necks, you know, but this is pretty good. These parts here are pretty, they feel pretty loose, okay, but they haven't popped off on me yet. Okay, and now let's check out the flying. So if I want to do Ghidorah in a flying pose, so let's get Ghidorah in a flying pose. Okay, so it is able to hold. Okay, so not entirely. The tail is able to hold its weight in the flying pose. I mean, you may need to use like some fish wire, and like you can hang up the tails and stuff like that to keep the posing. Okay, but yeah, I'm impressed that it can do that. I wasn't too sure if it could, so I'm doing this for the first time, and so far it's able to. And if you guys have no doubt saw that in my photos that I posted, just like Godzilla, he can also stand on its tail. So there, Ghidorah sitting on its tail, just like Godzilla. It's a little bit challenging with Ghidorah because like it's a heavier figure, but you can pull it off, as you can see. So you just have to find the right leverage and center of gravity, and you can do it. Okay, for those of you guys that are interested in wanting to pull off this pose for whatever reason. As you can see, the wings are posable, and if you look close here, it's on a hinge. So like it does that. Okay, so and that's how you're able to open and close the wings. But if you notice here, see, like if there's a lot of weight to the wings. Okay, so if you can see here how it's just sagging a little bit when I do that. Okay, and that's, in the long run, that could become an issue. Okay, so I'll explain that a little bit further. Someone was asking me on Instagram if King Ghidorah is able to throw its wings right in front of him to block Godzilla's heat ray, like how you saw in the movie. And for the most part, you can do it. You can get that pose, but I don't recommend that you guys do this for your figure. I feel like I'm doing, I'm actually risking my own figure too, because see, like it can't support the weight of its own wings. So like it just sags, okay? And here in my room right now, as you may or may not know, I live in Taiwan, and right now it's very hot. And you know, environmental conditions can have an effect on your figure. Okay, so like, because it's pretty warm in my room, like right now I have the AC and I have a fan on and things, so I feel cool and stuff. But like when I'm not in here and things, like this room is pretty warm, and you know, environmental conditions, heat can have an effect on your figures and stuff, especially for this one here, where there's like, clearly there's like a lot of weight, you know, being held by this part here, the, you know, the hinge for the wings. You know, that could become an issue in the long run. So in the long run, there could, you know, it is possible that, you know, this part here could tear off because, you know, wear and tear. So what I recommend for you guys, okay, so again, as I said earlier, this figure does not come with wing stands. So what I did is I took one of the stands from the legendary King Ghidorah, and these are the ones that are used for those. But like right now here in my room, the way I have King Ghidorah posed is in the knuckle walking stance, so there's no need for me to use this. So instead, I'm going to use this for my figure and pose the wings in such a way where the wings can stand, but also these the stands can support the weight of the wings. So for you guys out there, I recommend that you guys do this for your figure. I mean, I don't know, everybody's environmental conditions in their collection rooms may vary, but for me, because it's really hot in here and things, so I feel the need to do this for my figure, because in the long run, I feel that, you know, through wear and tear and stuff like that, after standing like that for so long, eventually it could just rip off. So that's why I'm gonna keep my figure on the wing stands. And I suggest, if you guys have a room like mine where it's kind of warm, I suggest that you guys do the same. Now moving forward, I do want to demonstrate for you the how this King Ghidorah looks with these gravity beams. So these are the gravity beams from the Gravity Beam Ghidorah 2019. Now, unfortunately, for, you know, as expected, I mean, this isn't designed with this Ghidorah in mind. So like the tongues, the tongues on this Ghidorah will not accommodate fully in these little holes that are meant for the tongues of the legendary Ghidorah. So, but it is, you know, it is doable. You just have to, you know, accommodate it into the mouth and then just close it slightly, and then just cheat the shot. So that looks pretty cool already. So let me do the other one. So Ghidorah just firing down on Godzilla. Let me do this one like this, maybe. And that looks pretty cool. So like, even though it's not, you know, the traditional gravity beams for this Ghidorah, but this kind of works. So if you guys have the Gravity Beam Ghidorah 2019, you know, you guys can mix and match with this figure. And I think for toy photography and things, I mean, this will do just fine. And you guys know, of course, inevitably we will get a gravity beam version of this particular figure. And moving on with size comparisons, and since I have them out already, let's go ahead and start off with our one and only Hiya Toys Godzilla 1991. If you guys are new here and you haven't checked out my review yet on this guy, I highly recommend that you do. This figure right here is the best Godzilla figure, best articulated, best posing Godzilla figure probably ever. For the next size comparison, this is the SH Monster Arts Godzilla 1991, and forget it, this figure does not scale well with this Ghidorah at all. Next size comparisons, we have here the all-time greatest SH Monster Arts figure, the Kowkistoy Godzilla 1989, my all-time favorite, and these two look really cool together. A nice big hefty Godzilla. A little bit out of scale, but you know, you could work. I mean, for toy photography, yeah, sure, you can make it work, absolutely. But this looks pretty cool. Next size comparison, we have the Super7 Toho Ultimates High Side Godzilla. This looks pretty cool. I like it. For the next size comparison, we have the Hiya Toys Stylus Godzilla Evolved. And for those of you keep asking, where's your Hiya Evolved Godzilla? Keep your shirt on, okay? It's coming. Next size comparison, we have the SH Monster Arts Shimo. And here's Shimo standing on her hind legs. This is fun. This is a fun shot. Not forgetting, of course, the Hiya Toys Exquisite Basic Shimo. This right here looks a lot of fun. Yeah. And what do you think, guys? Contenders for Figure of the Year? These two? Let me know in the comments section. Let's throw in some Pacific Rim Kaijus. This looks pretty cool. And let me throw in the other one. Let me just switch this guy out here and put this one in, or maybe put him in the back. That looks pretty cool. A lot of interesting stories can be told with these figures for sure. And since I brought out the Kaijus, let's go ahead and bring out the Jaegers. These are the Linji Hun Pacific Rim Jaegers, and this looks really cool. A lot of interesting stories can be told with these figures. I almost forgot, and why not, the Super7 Toho Ultimates Destoroya, and man, that looks cool. I can't wait to see what Destoroya is going to look like when Hiya Toys makes that figure. Phenomenal. And the next Super 7 figure, this is the Toho Ultimate Super 7 Space Godzilla, and that looks pretty cool too. Here we have the SH Monster Arts Biolante. This looks cool. Of course, let's bring out the SH Monster Arts Mecha-Ghidorah, and this looks pretty cool. And if you guys haven't seen it yet, man, that new Hiya Toys Mecha-Ghidorah looks phenomenal. I will leave the link for the pre-order in the description section below, guys. And man, that figure looks phenomenal. I can't wait to get that one too, but man, I'm just almost out of real estate for all these big figures. And I really wanted to bring this figure out. This is the NECA 12-inch tall Godzilla 2014, and just to give you guys an idea how big these two figures are comparatively. And man, hey Hiya, please make a big Godzilla like this, man. That would be super awesome. And for the final size comparison, my god, guys, look at this. This is incredible. This is incredible to look at, especially having on your shelf. It's amazing. I mean, this the legendary Ghidorah, like for the wings, like it's massive still. So let me zoom the camera in a little bit so we can look at the size comparison of the heads. I mean, the heads on the Ghidorah 91 is massive compared to the heads for the legendaries. So there you go, man. I mean, man, these figures are beautiful. You know, I mean, like, yeah, it's just really cool to see. Phenomenal. Like, I'm so happy to have all this in my collection. It's fantastic. And there you have it, everybody. I hope I covered everything for you guys, everything you need to know about this figure and things. So once again, for you guys that are awaiting this figure and things, for peace of mind and things, and preserving your figure and things, just you know, for safekeeping, it's better if that you use you know, stands to hold up the wings while you have it on display. All right, guys. Now before I go, people have been asking, is this accurately scaled between the two figures? And I did take a look at my book here. Fantastic book, guys. If you guys haven't, you guys should pick up these books. You know, off the Godzilla store and things. Very good resource and things. And if you just note, if you compare the head sizes, okay, and compared to like what we see here, I mean, the heads on the Ghidorah is bigger than this guy. I'm gonna go ahead and say no, that they're not accurately scaled. But you know, for the price point that this figure is being offered, and everything that comes with it, the articulation and things, the playability, that's easily forgivable in my opinion, and I'm very, very happy to have this figure in my collection, and I can't wait to do toy photography with this bad boy. And yeah, man, Hiya knocked it out of the park. Okay, so that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you guys are still considering buying this figure, you guys can go to Kowkistoy.com. The description section is the link is in my description section below. Use my promo code Figuremania-kowkis to get 6% off, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care, everybody.